Hello, I'm Dava McGahee, your tour guide, and welcome to historic Oak Grove Cemetery, one of the most emotionally charged burial grounds in the state of Texas. Here, buried treasure in the form of life stories personally connect visitors of every age and interest to the individuals interred here. In the next few minutes, I'll point you to some compelling stories that endeared me to this sacred place and these people. In East Texas and most of the United States today, we refer to these places where we bury our dead as cemeteries. The word comes from the Greek koimeterium, which means to sleep. Over 3,100 individuals sleep here in Oak Grove, situated along U.S. Texas Highway 21, which follows the route of the historic Camino Real, the King's Highway. Oak Grove Cemetery is a unique resource for teachers, genealogists, archaeologists, historians, and any visitor interested in Texas history or cemetery landscapes. Links to the state's Spanish, Mexican, and African American heritage are strong. Buried here are a veteran from the War of 1812, the main financier of the Texas Revolution, the leader of the Fredonian Rebellion, 2 veterans of the Battle of San Jacinto, Texas' first millionaire, and 4 signers of the Texas Declaration of Independence, slaves, 66 Confederate soldiers, a famous Texas poet and regional architect, and veterans from all the wars of the 20th century. Its history spans 400 years, beginning with the Spanish. El Camino Real extended over 2,100 miles from Mexico City to Nacogdoches, Louisiana. It traced over animal migration routes and Indian trade routes. It allowed for the Spanish entradas, mission building, settlers, supply trains, smugglers, military advances, and even diseases to travel east from Mexico and westward to Nacogdoches, a far-flung frontier outpost of New Spain. This King's Highway was a stage through the wilderness for a pageantry of diverse travelers. Carl Wilson Baker, a distinguished, nationally recognized writer, buried here in Oak Grove, describes the pageantry of this town along El Camino Real as she senses it. In a letter she writes,
Nacogdoches has a soul, a spirit, an atmosphere. She is no raw product of today or yesterday. There are ghosts on her streets, gentle Franciscan fathers, and curious, credulous red men.
The credulous red men Carl Wilson Baker referred to were the Caddoan Indians of East Texas. They buried their dead in mounds like these that once stood on the high point in Nacogdoches between La Nana Creek to the east and La Bonita Creek to the west. Only one burial mound still remains in the immediate vicinity, at 516 Mound Street near Oak Grove. Other burial mounds at Caddoan Mound State Historic Site are still preserved 20 miles west of Nacogdoches. This city, described by Carl Wilson Baker, was named after the Indians the Spanish explorers and Franciscan fathers met here at the crossroads of 2 Indian trade routes. There is a variety of art and symbolism in the monuments in Oak Grove. It varies from what some who study cemetery art call make-do motifs to those of fraternal orders such as Woodmen of the World and the Masons. Life was so very hard for these pioneers and settlers. Lack of sanitation and disease took their toll. It is heartbreaking to note that 273 of the 3,193 burials are children under the age of 10. 71 of those died at birth. The loss of a loved one has not gotten any easier. Cemeteries hold our saddest moments and our grandest memories. They offer peaceful spaces that may spark great insight or life-changing wisdoms. Stop and visit Oak Grove Cemetery along Highway 21, El Camino Real. Here you will find many more rich and fascinating stories yet to be told and passed on to future generations. Many buried here would certainly agree with Carl Wilson Baker as she wrote in her diary in 1953.
I have lived from the center, from the roots, and I have lived up into the sun and air. If I had been wiser, I could have gone farther, but I have come by the right way and am content.